I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Residents throughout the Catskills and Hudson Valley joined others from throughout the country in shock over the tragedy in Aurora, Colorado. 12 people were killed and 59 others wounded, some critically, when 24-year-old James Holmes opened fire inside a movie theater during the midnight showing of the film The Dark Knight Rises. New York Senator Charles Schumer added his voice to those mourning the horrific loss of life during a visit to Sullivan County this afternoon. He said the shooting massacre may reopen the debate over access to guns, gun violence, and security in public places.
Certainly, we ought to make sure, while we protect the rights of lawful gun owners, and I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe that people have a right to bear arms, but I also believe that if you're a criminal, if you're mentally infirm, which maybe this gentleman was, we don't know yet, if you're a spousal abuser, that you shouldn't have the right to have a gun. Well, we have to have security in public places. You know, I said to my wife, I want to go see The Dark Knight tonight. I love those Batman movies. And she said, I don't want to go after what happened. And if Americans have that reaction, that'll be bad for our economy and bad for just our society as a whole. So we have to do everything we can to secure our public places, that's for sure.
Keep checking back here at Record Online to stay on top of the latest developments and get the full story plus reaction in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. A section of Main Street in the village of Monroe was cordoned off at around 3:30 this morning as police converged on a reported stabbing scene at 14 Main Street. Preliminary reports indicate that 2 people were stabbed and taken to Orange Regional Medical Center, where they were being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. State police, as well as officers from the towns of Tuxedo and Chester, also responded to the scene. There was no initial word of arrests. Keep checking back here at Record Online for updated information. Convicted Sullivan County child rapist Paul Curry is back in custody after fleeing when police came to his Grahamsville home to arrest him for violating an order of protection because he'd come in contact with his 12-year-old victim. Curry, who was awaiting sentencing on his guilty plea to a first-degree rape charge, was discovered inside a residence in the town of Thompson last evening. At the time of his arrest, Curry swallowed several pills and was taken to Catskill Regional Medical Center prior to his transfer to Sullivan County Jail. He'll now face additional charges, including criminal contempt and endangering the welfare of a child. In Orange County, a Pine Bush man, a fugitive from justice in New Jersey, faces extradition to the Garden State, where he is wanted for a sexual assault that involved a 15-year-old girl from Paramus, New Jersey. 23-year-old Chase Bunt was arrested and following a search of his Pine Bush home, was additionally charged with a felony of promoting an obscene sexual performance by a child, relating to a child porn video that appeared on his cell phone. Bunt is currently being held in Ulster County Jail on $50,000 cash bail. If Orange County Executive Ed Diana decides to testify before the Legislative Committee investigating the management and finances of the county-owned Valley View Nursing Facility, he won't have to testify under oath. In a 10-9 vote split almost entirely along party lines, legislators backed away from the threat of legal action as a way to force Diana and others to provide sworn testimony. Republicans who oppose the legal action resolution say witnesses should be allowed to testify without taking an oath as a way to break the current impasse. Others say the legislature should use its subpoena power to obtain sworn testimony. The Valley View Committee has scheduled 5 days of hearings beginning Monday, July 30th. Senator Charles Schumer was in Monticello this afternoon, where he voiced an appeal to FEMA to speed up its reimbursement to the village for the cost of repairs from damage done by Tropical Storm Irene last year. About $500,000 worth of damage was done to village infrastructure, including the cave-in of a main pipe culvert on St. John Street. Monticello officials completed much of the repair work independently, but the village has been forced to foot the bill for about $500,000 worth of repairs. While the request for federal reimbursement continues to await final FEMA approval, Schumer says FEMA needs to expedite its review of the village's damage assessment and provide the fullest extent of federal funding for the St. John Street repair work. Members of the Wawarsing Town Board like what they see in Michael Trainor's plans for transforming the long vacant Nevele Hotel property back into a prime tourist destination. Trainor rolled out his resort renaissance plan to the board with predictions that the redevelopment would create 1,500 jobs, but it will only happen if he gets the go-ahead to build a gambling casino there. The earliest state voters can approve up to 7 casinos is November of 2013. The Nevele application would then have to be selected as one of the casino projects. It's a change of venue for the 4-H Club in Orange County. Club members have begun exhibiting animals at the Bergen Family Farm in Slade Hill, a change from their longtime base of operations at the Orange County Fairgrounds. 4-H officials chose to shift their exhibit site for several reasons, including complaints about the length of the county fair, fairgrounds housekeeping lapses, and the desire to hold the shows in a more agricultural setting. A showing of dogs kicked things off Thursday with an assortment of farm animals to be shown and judged at the Slade Hill Farm through Sunday. And phase 1 of a major campus upgrade at SUNY Orange in Middletown has been completed. The college's new Kinder College Morrison Lab School will open its doors to up to 90 children come September. The facility replaces the smaller space in the Sarah Wells building that is being torn down as part of the college's $60 million capital improvement plan. The new center will provide daycare as well as half-day pre-K programs, plus the lab school where college students can observe and learn from interaction with the Kinder College children. The Middletown campus improvements also include a new parking garage that's due to open by the spring 2013 semester. Our weekend should be a good one weather-wise once some morning clouds and remaining rain move off. It'll become partly sunny by afternoon Saturday with temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Sunday will be sunny with the highs reaching the mid-80s. Get caught up on all that's happening by reading the weekend editions of the Times-Herald Record and keep clicking back here at Record Online to stay on top of breaking news. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.